Hi guys, so today Curt and I, my dearest brother, we're going to be rating 12 different kinds of box brownies so we can tell you what our favorites are so you know which ones to buy. We're very excited, and we're pretty concerned about what our chocolate intake will be today, but maybe not even that different from an average day, so who knows.
It's gonna be great.
Yes. So we have made ourselves little rubrics. I did make all the brownies, but I just decided to purge the information from my mind. And how the brownie system worked, I labeled all the pans that I baked the brownies in by brand via numbers. And then after that, I put each brownie in its own bag labeled with the same number. So we don't actually know what brands we're tasting in this current moment. So we're just going to blindly rank them, and at the end we'll reveal top to bottom what our favorites were. Oh, and I did want to let you know, so I baked them all according to the package. I didn't go rogue at all, or like add extra liquid if it looked dry or anything. And then from the time description, if it says like 28 to 32 minutes, I baked it 1 minute longer than the lowest time, which I think is generally how I make box brownies anyway, because I like them chewy and not cakey. So I didn't want to tell you that. So that way it's all congruent and would make sense. Curt, do you want to explain to them our rubric?
So we have a couple of different categories here. We have the first category, chewiness, which will be a 1 to 10 scale where we're rating how optimally chewy the brownie is. This is a texture category. Then we have taste, which is going to be rating the general taste of the brownie from 1 to 10. So it is equally weighted with the chewiness category. The third category we have is appearance, which is only out of 5. So this is just going to be the way the brownie looks, and it is half weighted to the previous categories. And the very last category, though probably the most important category, is going to be the vibe category, which is rated on a 0 to 4 scale, which is the least weighted of the categories, but the most important in my heart.
Okay. Okay, I think we should just get started. We're not going to taste them in number order because I made a very well put together list, and I'm a little bit concerned that Curt will start guessing like what brands are following other brands. So we're just going to be tasting the exact same number at a time, but not going strictly from 1 to 12. Not that it really matters, but it feels important to mention. So where do you want to start?
Alright, so we're starting with number 5.
First thoughts, it already looks really cakey to me. Oh, here's something to note. Curt and I were raised on chewy brownies, and that's like, I would argue the most important thing to us is the chewiness level.
Definitely the most important thing.
Versus like the cakiness. So, bad vibes already from the cake.
You can see it's got some like a porous texture to it. That's never a good sign in your brownie crust.
No. But it does look kind of fudgy.
Oh yeah.
Smells like a brownie.
Are you a strong chocolate kind of person or a limp chocolate kind of person?
Heavy chocolate.
Heavy chocolate?
Yeah.
I need a nice balanced chocolate regime in my life.
I do like it to taste kind of salty, which generally box brownies don't. So, I'm taking a bite.
Smells pretty good. Oh! You know,
Doesn't feel cakey at all.
way better than I thought.
Me too.
A little spongy maybe?
I feel like this back part towards the corners, like more crust, it's like way firm.
Yeah.
But this inside is way softer. But it's not firm like a good chewy corner. It's like firm.
It's like the way I want the whole brownie to be, but it's just on the edge.
Wait, you like the edge better?
I like the edge better. I think. The middle is just a little too limp. Wow. Would I eat this brownie? Of course I would. It's a brownie.
The scale is not would you eat it. When we started about to video today, Curt goes, so is this one of those we eat the whole brownie thing or just a few bites? We're going to start with a few bites and see how it goes.
So now I make my rating in secret.
Yes, secret ratings.
Secret
only.
rating. So I rank this one as number 5 chewiness, I thought it was in the middle. I liked the edge, but the inconsistency as it went towards the middle was not a big fan of that.
I was a 6, pretty much for similar reasons. Except I did like the middle.
Taste, what for me was a 7. I thought the chocolate balance was okay. It was pretty good. Overall, just taste.
I was a 6. I kind of felt like it was pretty close to average, but I would eat it.
Nice and moist, though.
Yeah. And for appearance, I put a 2.
2 as well. I'm not a fan of the pores looking outside.
Yeah, the bubbles were weird. Hey, what's that? You know how people have that thing where they don't like seeing those holes?
Is that agoraphobia, or is that something else?
That's
something
else.
Okay, not that.
Whatever that phobia is, where you don't like the tiny holes, you would not like that brownie.
Can I look it up?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Yeah. I usually just guess. And I just leave it. I thought you were typing into a calculator for a second.
Nope.
Have you seen
trypophobia?
Yeah. Have you seen that guy who makes cooking videos? His name is Newt. And every time in his cooking videos, when it's time to set the timer, he just types into a calculator as a joke. And it makes me laugh every single time.
I have not seen it.
Oh, what'd you put in your vibe?
The last vibe, this has a vibe of 1.
I put 0.
I liked that when I looked at the cross section of the brownie, I could see the chocolate difference throughout. That gave me good vibes. But other than that, not good.
5 vibes for me. Okay, what number next?
2.
I already don't want to eat this brownie because I don't like brownies with chocolate chips or drizzle or frosting on the top.
Yeah.
It's not, wait. It's not that I don't like them because I will eat them, but they're just not my preference.
Wait, this one's perfectly square. Never a good vibe from a brownie if your brownie is perfectly square.
Smells fake.
Oh no. I don't like where this is going. Well, if I ever were to have a brownie that I would consider not eating all of, it would be this one.
It's so bad.
I'm just gonna put that one back.
I don't like that one.
That one,
It tastes stale?
Yeah, it does taste. I agree. And
like, way more milk chocolatey than like a good chocolate?
Yeah, that's an excellent way of describing it. It's like someone took like a Hershey's chocolate bar and is feeding it to me as a cake.
But like an old Hershey chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Like the one you find in your hunting backpack from the last trip.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to rinse my mouth from that experience.
What's with the drizzle on top? Oh. Well, I'm ready to rate this one.
Done. That was easy to rate. I never want to eat that again. I want to finish that. Unless someone gave it to me as a gift and like watched me eat it and it was one of those uncomfortable situations. Or like you're at someone's house and they serve it to you and you're like, oh, yeah.
I'd finish it because I'm a monster, but
okay,
I wouldn't be super happy about it.
Chewiness.
You can start this time.
Chewiness, I did it too.
I gave it a 1. Not good.
But would you describe it as a cake brownie?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had fluffier brownies.
Oh.
Okay, taste?
1.
1.
Horrible.
Blech. Appearance?
2.
I gave it a 4. I kind of thought like with the chocolate chips and the drizzle and stuff, it would be like well styled, even though that's not what I want to eat.
Yeah, like the drizzle, I guess, makes it look better, but it doesn't make it look better in the way that makes me think it's going to be a good brownie.
True, that's a great point. Vibe 0.
0 vibes.
I need to drink some more water. That one was awful. I wish we ate that last. I feel like it's really set me up poorly.
Would you like some additional water?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. What number next?
Number 10 is staring at me. Let's go with that one.
Number 10. This one looks like...
It's got the earth cracks.
Does this not look like whatever kind Mom usually makes at home?
It does look like that one, you're right.
I don't know. I don't remember if it is or not. Mostly because I don't remember what Grandmom would make. Because I think she just kind of bought random ones.
I don't know either. pretty soft to the touch.
Really crackly on the top. How do we feel about that?
I think that's usually, like, it's almost falling apart in my hand. That usually means it's gonna be good. Like, it's not optimal. They're definitely, the most optimal brownie won't do that, but there's a lot of good brownies that do that.
Yeah, I agree. Oh wait, look at the bottom. Does this have chocolate chips?
I don't think so.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Look.
Oh, yeah.
I am a no chocolate chip in a brownie gown.
I like it sometimes. Oh. It's way stickier than I thought it was going to be. It's almost like eating a light peanut butter where it keeps your teeth together as you chew.
Curt, does this taste like someone put walnuts in it but there's no nuts? Taste it again.
Yeah, kind of. Because the chocolate chips aren't melted at all.
It tastes dusty.
Yeah, there's like a grittiness to it.
Yeah.
Not a super big fan of that.
I had way higher hopes for this one.
So did I.
This one's kind of hard to rate.
I keep going back for little nibbles, though.
I would say it's pretty chewy.
Yeah, it's pretty chewy.
I don't like the chocolate chips.
No, I don't like the
They should, if they're in there, they should be melted.
For chewiness, for this one, I put it as a 4. So, slightly less than the first one.
I gave it a 5, which is also 1 point less than the first one. And for taste, I did a 5.
I also did a 5. Like, it tasted pretty good, but I didn't like the grittiness. I wish that was not a quality that it had.
Appearance?
Appearance was a 5. I like the, always a fan of the broken earth texture. I think it looked just, that's the way I want my brownies to look.
I also gave it a 5.
Oh! Are you sure you're not cheating?
I promise I can't even read your paper.
Oh, you're right.
I can see that far.
And for vibes, I gave it a 2.
Me too!
I had good vibes.
I give you good vibes because it reminds me of Mom's brownies. That wasn't your thought process?
No. I guess my vibes is really almost just pretty correlated to its appearance. Looked pretty good. Vibe was good.
That's not the vibe.
I guess. It smelled good too, though. I did like what it smelled.
Actually did smell pretty good.
8.
8.
First thoughts on 8.
Pale color, not gonna.
Yeah, I don't know how to I don't know the culinary terms to describe it. The top part.
It looks crispy and pale. This is going to be more like a milk chocolate flavor, as opposed to like a hearty dark chocolate. It doesn't have very strong of a smell.
No, you're right.
We're both very stuffy nose people, but it doesn't.
I can smell it better than I usually can right now. I think I've eaten this brownie before, and I didn't think it was super great last time. I would reconfirm that thought right now.
It needs like chocolate and salt. Am I having a bad attitude? Are these just not as good as I was expecting?
Maybe we just haven't got to the good ones yet.
Maybe.
I don't know how to... What does it taste like?
It kind of tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
I know what it tastes like. So, you know when you go to like Sonic or Dairy Queen and you order like a brownie sundae?
Yeah.
It tastes like the brownies that come with that. They're bad.
Yeah.
But with ice cream, hot fudge, you can make it work.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This brownie just needs some spice.
It's also just not chocolatey enough to me.
I would agree.
Do you like a heavy chocolate?
I don't like a heavy chocolate, but there needs to be some chocolate. What I do like about it, that I think it's done the best of all the brownies, is it kind of supports itself when you hold on to it.
That's true.
Without like being super overbaked. It's still moist.
Yeah, I do think it's a good balance between chewiness and truthfully being baked fully. I actually read...
Doesn't flop.
Claire, who used to work at Bon Appetit, she's one of like my favorite.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Okay, so we love Claire. She has a cookbook out. Matt got it for me for Christmas. It's one of my favorites. She now has a YouTube channel. Her cookbook's called Dessert Person. Anyways, she was giving, she was making one of the recipes on her YouTube channel that's from her cookbook, and it's like tahini brown butter brownies, I think it's called. But anyways, at the beginning of the video, she's describing how a good brownie is fully baked and still fudgy, as opposed to all brownies can be good, and not just because they're underbaked. So, I don't know, something to consider.
Yeah. I would say this brownie felt well cooked. It supported itself, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, I agree.
It just needed more flavor to it.
For chewiness, I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 6. This is the most optimally chewy one that I've rated so far.
Okay, so I was debating because I would consider it the chewiest we've eaten, but I liked the bake on it the best. But then I decided the category was not best baked, it was chewy.
Fair. The bake has a pretty heavy influence on whether something's optimally chewy.
Yeah. For taste, I did a 3.
I gave it a 4. It's okay.
Appearance, I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 3.
Great. Vibes, 0.
1 for vibes.
I think I'm considering vibes almost like bonus points.
I've thought of vibes as now conceptualized as, for me, if I saw that brownie at a party, would I pick that brownie over the other brownies? That's my new category.
You know what
vibes
people should
rating.
stop bringing to parties? Those little brownie bites.
Yeah.
Never have you eaten those and thought, oh, those were delicious. No!
Yeah, the ones you get from
They're
Costco.
always stale. They do not taste good. Stop bringing them to parties. You know what you should be getting?
Unless you
next to the brownie bites, located in Costco, are the lemon bites. Do you remember those?
I don't think...
No, we've eaten hundreds of them.
No, I hate those.
What?
Why do you think they were always around for you to eat?
You don't like... Why not?
The bottoms always got soggy.
Yes! Because they were moist.
Too moist. Too much lemon as well. I don't want to eat a whole lemon in my dessert.
Wow. We're having a real moment here.
Also, another good quality to a dessert to me is if you can eat like a whole giant mountain of it at once, it's a good dessert. There are certain desserts where the more you eat of the dessert, the better it gets. With the lemon bars, the more you eat, they get worse over time.
Wow, I think I have the opposite. So some of my favorite desserts, I would only really want like 2 or 3 bites because they're really rich.
No, that's one of the major problems I have with ice cream, is it just gets too cold for your mouth over time, so you can't eat a mountain of it. So it cannot be truly the optimal dessert.
Good thing we're only rating brownies. Okay.
Which one's next?
9? I guess we just did 8. Maybe 6?
Alright, 6 is good. Oh, I like the way this brownie looks.
This looks like a good brownie. I'm already into it. I'm really hyped. I think this might be our first sight really good.
I don't know. I think it might fall apart though. Oh, it smells great though.
Okay, let's do the fall apart test.
Oh! 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 Yeah. Not ideal, but not indicative of a bad brownie.
Eat it. My first initial was way better than my actual, like, you know when you start tasting it? It tastes very raw.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which I like to eat brownie batter, but
oily.
It does taste very oily.
Yeah.
Maybe this is one that used 2/3 a cup of oil instead of most use like half or something.
I'm not a super big fan of the extra oil.
It's pretty squishy. Man, I was really hyped for this one.
I would go for this brownie at a party though.
I would for sure eat the whole thing. This is actually the first one I've been like, this one and number 5 were pretty similar to me. Well, not exactly, but.
Well, I gotta give it the Curt. Would I eat this brownie? Of course I would.
Of course. Hey, at least that one wasn't as traumatic as the last one.
For optimal chewiness, I gave this one a 5.
So did I.
Wait, this was number 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I gave it this one a 5, putting it the same as the first brownie that we ate. Nothing really sets it apart. It was pretty good in terms of texture.
Mm-hmm.
Taste. Oh wait, you gave it a 5 as well.
Yeah.
I gave this one a 6 for taste. Like the chocolate balance was good. It actually tasted like something. It tasted like a brownie.
Yeah.
I just wasn't a big fan of the extra oily flavor that came along with it.
Yeah, I feel like it was missing something, but was still relatively balanced.
Yeah. Appearance 5, looked like a great brownie.
5 for appearance. I agree. What'd you give it for vibes?
1 for vibes.
I gave it a 2.
I grabbed that brownie at a party, but
I'd be happy if that brownie was at a party.
well, there's a brownie at a party. I'd be happy. But would I grab that brownie over the other potential dessert options? Perhaps.
I mean, brownie's generally pretty high on the list of stuff. What did you say?
Yeah, I'd say.
Okay, which one's next?
Well, we gotta do it eventually. Let's do number 4. I can't deny that I think I know what this is.
I mean, you should know what it is.
Am I allowed to know what this is?
Yes.
Looks like a cosmic brownie.
That it does, my friend.
Perfectly square with the very iconic little spheroid sprinkles on top. Don't put sprinkles on your brownies.
These used to hit the spot.
Yeah.
Mom would pack these there on lunch in like 3rd grade. Great trading opportunities.
Yeah, you want them because you can trade them for something better. Because all the other fools
what?
in your class.
What would you trade this for?
The little honey bun. Who wouldn't want a honey bun?
I'd trade this for some Gushers.
Yeah.
You're right.
The
Could
other
be better.
Our classmates were fools. They didn't know what true brownies were.
Here,
Their moms were making
I'm
them the
just
good
gonna
stuff.
eat these sprinkles by themselves.
But then you won't get the whole.
Kurt, they're chocolate.
Really?
It's a chocolate chip. It's a candy-coated chocolate chip.
It's still strange.
Yeah, it's weird. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's happening.
It has the texture of toothpaste that's been packed into a square. None of it really. It's like the way that chicken nuggets are. It's the textures like the way that chicken nuggets are, or like a Pringle, where they've liquefied the ingredients and then squished it out of a tube into the perfect shape. Where like a brownie is supposed to crumble a little bit, where there's certain sections that are more attached to each other than not completely homogeneous.
You can taste the variation. Like obviously it's mixed together, but you can taste the ingredients.
Yeah.
It tastes very processed because it is.
Now that being said, the actual overall taste of the cosmic brownie, pretty good. Some might say scientifically refined. But the texture is where my biggest complaints come from.
Chewiness, 4.
I gave it a 3 for chewiness.
Taste, 3.
I gave it a 4 for taste. I actually don't mind the taste very much. It's pretty good.
I just want it to taste so different. Appearance, 3.
1. Don't put the appearance of sprinkles on your brownies. They don't belong.
I think it's cute. Vibe, 0.
2.
2?
Yeah. Everyone knows you get a.
You would eat those at a party?
Yeah. Who wouldn't? You stack them up real tall. They got fun colors on them. We're vibing.
Please explain to them what we're about to eat.
All right. Well, so we've taste tested 6 of the brownies, which is half of them, and we decided we need a little bit of a palate cleanser. So we're eating some nasturtium flowers from my garden to cleanse our palates.
Kurt said they taste kind of like a radish.
A little bit like a radish, real peppery. Some say spicy. Peppery's a little bit more.
We'll eat the whole thing?
Yeah, you just hop.
It tastes like a radish.
Yeah, they're fun. They're cute.
Oh, it's
they look
spicy.
nice.
It tastes like. It tastes like a radish combined with cinnamon gum that your mom gives you when you're young. You're like,
oh, like the little red hots that
yeah.
Grandma M puts on everything, and then it goes away.
That was surprisingly good.
Yeah, actually, that was the best one I'd had. That was good.
They don't
Probably
usually taste like that?
Well, no. I like looking at them, so I usually probably wait till they're a little old before I eat them.
Oh, it straight up tastes like radish.
Yeah.
Like, if someone were to give me a radish and that, I would be like, huh, radishes. Kurt, that was so fun.
Nasturtium flowers, very fun. I feel properly cleansed.
So do I. That was really weird.
It's like eating ginger if you're having sushi. Alright.
Ginger's like my favorite part of sushi.
Me too. I love ginger.
Everyone should. Wait, Roxanne and I eat sushi. She doesn't eat the ginger.
So extra for you, right?
Yeah, but I feel like she's really missing out.
You gotta have those friends around, though.
I guess. Just like I think it's in How I Met Your Mother theory about that one person in the couple always likes olives and the other one doesn't, and that's what brings you two together.
That's very important.
Okay,
right.
What's next?
Let's go with number 7. This is one thick boy.
I would say pretty good appearance.
Yeah, it's got the cracks in it.
Ooh, it smells pretty good. Slightly lighter in color than I would ideally want.
I'm usually pretty apprehensive about thick brownies. They're hard to execute.
The texture looks very good. And it has that holding quality that you like.
It does hold together, which surprises me for how large it is.
But still looks chewy.
This looks like an excellent nut brownie. I'm surprised it doesn't have nuts in it. If whatever we reveal at the end of this one, after we taste it, my guess is add some nuts to that box mix and it would be better.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's pretty good.
A little cakey.
Yeah, definitely on the cakey side of things.
And not as dark chocolate as I prefer. But definitely not as bad as some of them we've eaten.
I really like the top crust.
So do I.
It's got you gotta really punch into it and then you get the rest
I
of it.
also really like how the bottom looks.
Yeah, I wish everyone else would get to see the brownies up close.
That was pleasant.
I quite like this one.
Me too. This one had quite a bit going for it.
I like in my standard dessert fashion, I like that it's super big. So if I'm at the party for my vibe purposes and I'm gonna go for the brownie and people are like, people can shun you a little bit if you take more than one dessert thing at a time, but if you get it's just one brownie, but it's huge. It's good.
Tell them about your donut picking strategy growing up. Remember how Mom would volunteer at church and then Dad would take us to get donuts?
Oh yeah, I would always get an apple fritter. First of all, apple fritters are good.
Yeah, sure.
And because they were the biggest. Obviously, more donut is the most optimal choice because you can get one donut every week. You're gonna get the biggest donut you can. This strategy continued because we would go to QT before we go hunting, and we'd have a breakfast donut. And for a while, I get the apple fritter, and then eventually they released the cinnamon roll donut. This thing's not a donut; it's just a big cinnamon roll.
It was like this big.
It's as big as your face, and I get that one because it's the biggest one. Obviously, that's how you pick donuts.
And Dad would make fun of Kurt, like, quantity over quality, or I don't know, some dad statement.
I don't remember ever being shamed for my choices.
Maybe it was support.
Probably.
He does like fritters.
Apple fritters are great.
So are cherry fritters. I've had a peach fritter, also great.
They are all, fruit fritters in general are really good. Ooh, has an excellent fritter on the topic of fritters is Bosa Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Their fritters, unfortunately, are small. However, texture, ideal.
No, I just ate one from Bosa Donuts and it was huge.
It's been a little while since I've had one, but they're great.
Chewiness 4.
Chewiness 4. I put it at a 6. I originally had it at a 5, but then I gave it another point back because I really liked the way the crust was on top, which to me factors into the chewiness factor.
That's fair.
The crust on top made up for the more cakey texture in the middle, to me.
That's fair. Taste, I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6. It was pretty good, pretty up there.
Appearance, I gave it a 4.
5. I think it looked great. I
just like them to look a little bit darker.
Fair.
Vibes, I gave it a 0.
2. I'm grabbing that boy every time.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and do number 3?
Oh boy.
This is what number 3 looks like.
Number 3 looks like very crisp. Has little chocolate chips on it.
We already know it's gonna get a
Mine
0
is-
for chewing.
Mine is fractured. It's like a brownie cookie, perhaps? Is it a cracker? Might be a cracker.
It has chocolate chips in it, which we already know I don't like.
Doesn't smell very good. Wow, that really crunches like a cracker. Oh! Wait a minute. The taste is pretty dark. I quite like the way it tastes.
I thought this was going to be disgusting.
What the heck is this?
Curt, it tastes like a chocolate graham cracker.
It does taste like a chocolate graham cracker. Better than you think a chocolate graham cracker would taste. Actually, this would be a nice crunchy snack.
I'm going to eat this whole thing. And this one. I'm going to sit here and eat this.
Wow.
Why does it taste so good?
I don't know. I don't think it fundamentally counts as a brownie. But if you're looking for a chocolatey cracker, this really hits the spot.
Is it a cracker or a cookie? Is the cookie just a sweet cracker?
I don't know. That sounds very British of you.
No, I think they... Wait, what do they call them?
Biscuits?
Yeah, biscuit. Isn't a cracker, a biscuit, and a cookie just all one and the same?
I mean, they're all various forms of flour and water and ingredients.
Curt. So you're saying it doesn't count as brownie, therefore it doesn't get rated?
No, I'll rate it.
Okay.
If someone were to ask me, hey, do you want a brownie? And then gave me this, I'd be super confused.
I would be so mad.
Like, what? Why you... Okay, you deceiver.
I'd be shocked if someone was like, hey, I brought some brownies for us. Maybe I should do that. So on Tuesday, I'm going to Grandma Sharon's. We're having a dessert date in the afternoon. What if I was like, hey, Grandma, I made some brownies. She would be like, oh, wow, thank you so much, Carlene. She would just be nice.
I mean, Grandma Sharon would never say anything mean to you.
She might be shocked, though. Okay, go for it.
Alright, chewiness, a 1.
I gave it a 0.
It is... You can't... Chewiness is not allowed to go to 0. That's not the way the category works.
Okay, 1.
Even if it was fundamentally not a brownie, we cannot break our categorical rules.
Okay, 1.
Alright. Taste, 8. I love the darkness.
It's my favorite one
I like
so far.
the dark, the bite. It bit back a little bit.
The chocolate
it was
tasted
everything
good.
I wanted. Yeah.
Also, even though there were chocolate chips, they weren't
They're
crunchy.
good though. No. You could see them but not feel them in your tongue.
Yeah. Appearance, I gave it a 1.
I gave it a 2. But that was probably a little lenient. I graded the appearance as if it was a cracker.
Well, it's a brownie, so... vibes, I gave it a 3.
I gave it...
I'm considering vibes bonus points for undefinable qualities.
I gave it a 1 for novelty.
Alright, that's fair.
But it's too unusual. I probably wouldn't go for it.
I wouldn't go for it. I literally thought it was going to be disgusting. I thought, oh, this one's just kind of a joke. We're going to throw it in there. Okay, what one next?
1. Look at this. The outside is almost glossy.
I believe it has a frosting.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't like brownies with frosting. Just for any clarification, if I say I don't like it, that doesn't mean I won't eat it. I'm just saying it's not my preference.
You know, because it's a brownie.
And we will eat it.
This looks like a fancier cosmic brownie to me.
Yeah,
it's still got the pretty nice edges, and then the top is too uniform. Brownies to me, should be like a steak, where the best steak you don't have to add anything to it because it's just good on its own.
Oh, great.
So why are you putting frosting on your brownie? If the brownie was good enough, you wouldn't need the frosting.
You know what I just don't understand? When you order a nice steak and then it comes with the butter, but the butter tastes like horseradish. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. You don't?
No.
It comes with this butter on the side. It has a name, like seasoned butter or something. And it tastes so vinegary, and I just don't understand why they put it with the steak. I don't get it. We'll have to have you try it out sometime. So you
I
can
guess
share
so.
your opinion.
All right, now to taste. Which number was this one?
1.
Number 1. The frosting is very rich. It takes a lot of effort to eat. There's a very distinct layering between the frosting and the brownie itself when you bite into it, which I'm not a big fan of. Like previously I said I wanted my brownie to not be homogeneous, but I want it all to be homogeneously different.
Yeah. It does taste very similar to the cosmic brownie.
Yeah. Which is pretty good.
But the frosting is worse?
Yeah, I don't like frosting.
It also tastes very processed.
The frosting gets worse as you continue to eat it.
Yeah. Significantly
Bad in my
worse.
book. Okay. I'm done with that one. I'm ready to rate it.
Yeah, me too. Chewiness, I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 2. Not great.
Taste, I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 4. I didn't think it tastes that bad. I liked it in the way that I liked the way the cosmic brownie tasted. It's minus the frosting.
Appearance, I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 3.
Vibes, 0.
0 vibes. Would not go for this guy.
No. Yeah, I would just pick whatever other dessert was at this theoretical party. I mean, clearly no dessert's not an option.
Yeah.
So you just have to choose the other one.
And no, eating a vegetable is not a dessert. You cannot substitute.
No one goes
vegetable.
to parties for the veggie tray.
No one goes and they see and they're like, oh, you know what? I would really love a celery stick. Oh, jeez. Man, you got celery at this party? It's a banger. No one says that.
What would you want to see at a banger party?
Nacho dip. Another type of chip dip.
Spinach artichoke dip.
Spinach artichoke dip with the little bread pieces. Aunt Deb, you know what we're talking about.
Maybe some buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken dip. A lot of dip. Beans of every quality and kind. Who doesn't love a good bean? And then you got your dessert tray. You need your cookie option.
Yeah.
Your chocolate option. And
some sort of fruit. Like chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah. There you go. Those are the kind of your quintessential dessert categories.
That's some good party food.
And then
basically a lot of dip.
If I was at a really fancy party, I'd like to personally make calzones, but that's usually a little much to ask.
Yeah, the traditional house party, you're not making calzones.
Not traditionally, but that'd be a banger of a party. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Number
we have
12.
3 left. 12. Feels firm.
Yeah, very, very firm for sure.
Kind of squishy on the bottom.
Oh, mine's not.
Oh, squishy on the bottom?
No. Oh. Can whack it on my cutting board.
Oh, look. She fudged you.
Oh. The fudge bodes well for you.
I'm a fudge gal. Ooh, it smells like good chocolate.
Ooh, I do like the way it smells. Holds itself very well,
it's heavy,
as you might
Curt,
expect.
This is like a pound. Not a pound, but
Yeah.
a hefty
They're
boy.
very dense.
Yeah.
Ooh. The top is flaky.
The top
And
is
salty.
flaky.
Oh.
Mine has a chocolate chunk.
Oh.
This is a good
I like this
brownie.
one. Oh. Wow, I think you were right about the salt. Like, it's not, when I say it's salty, it's not, all of the other brownies we've been having, I think have really devoided my brain of the way salt tastes, because this one finally has some amount of salt in it, and it's nice.
Did you get a chunk yet? How do you feel?
Oh, I love it. I love the way the top flakes off.
Me too.
If it was just a little softer.
Yeah, the edges are kind of firm.
The chunks,
Actually, let me eat an edge.
now that I've eaten another chunk, the chunks are a little big for me. Because it, like, dramatically changes the way that I was expecting that bite to taste. As I continue to eat it, it might be just a little too much salt.
You think so?
Just a touch. I'd rather err on this side, though, than the other side.
Yeah.
I could do this for breakfast and be okay with it.
No. I mean, we are. This is currently my breakfast. I haven't eaten it today.
True.
So I pass no judgment.
I rated the chewiness of this one is a 6, which is the maxima for my current chewiness scores.
I gave it an 8, because that's more my fudgy chewiness level.
Gotcha. Like, I really loved the way it flaked on top, which factored a lot into my chewiness
That's
score.
true.
But ultimately, I just wish it was softer.
Yeah, the outside. You felt like the middle wasn't soft enough?
Yeah, I thought the whole thing throughout was not soft enough.
Interesting.
Taste, 10.
I give it a 9.
I quite liked the way it tastes. Now, sure, it may be... Can I give it a perfect taste score when I think there's room for improvement? Of course I can.
Appearance, I gave it a 4.
I also gave it a 4.
Based off the flaky top. I like that.
It looked the way the brownie should look. I think ideally there would be more cracks throughout it and a little bit less smoothness to the cuts.
Because of what?
When you cut the side of the brownie, you don't want it to look like a sheer
you want to see
cliff.
some texture.
Yeah, I want to see some texture.
I see. A vibes, I gave it a 1.
2 for vibes. Chonking that boy.
Choking that boy. Okay, 2 left. Are you prepared? I feel very full.
I could keep going.
Really?
Yeah. 11!
It looks dry.
Is this another frosting one?
No.
The top texture looks strange.
I know exactly what brownie this is, and it does not have frosting.
Fair. Oh, it's got chocolate chips at least, though.
At least.
Yep.
Okay.
No. It doesn't taste as dry as it looks.
The end.
Did you bite the edge?
No.
Oh.
The aftertaste tastes like oatmeal? No, shredded wheat.
I can't say I agree with you on that one, but what got me thinking, bite the, do you have an edge peak part?
Yeah.
Bite that part.
Is it good?
Well, can you bite through it? You can barely bite through the edge. Now, there are some people who like, oh yeah, they love the edge piece. They want a crispy bit to their brownie. This takes it way too far.
You're telling me that aftertaste taste doesn't taste like shredded wheat to you?
I don't think
Think
so.
about how your mouth tastes.
Like, I don't, like, is it all chalky at the end? I don't like that.
What number was that? 11?
11.
Something about like
can't
the
get the
flour or
the
something tastes
chalkiness.
wrong to me.
Yeah.
It tastes like something else. It tastes like, you know how we would get a whole bunch of Halloween candy and Mom would freeze it and then get it out later?
Yeah.
Tastes like post-frozen chocolate.
Yeah, that's an excellent descriptor for it.
Thank you.
Let me rate this bad boy. And by bad boy, I mean not in the good kind of bad boy, but in like the bad kind of bad boy. Like
Bad boy.
don't date that kid because he's a bad boy, but not because it's cool.
Chewiness 2.
I put it at a 4.
That wasn't chewy at all.
Well, I don't know. I like the way it
but
liked.
that's not the one we ate.
Oh, this one.
Number 11.
I don't know. I liked it.
That's not the category.
Optimal chewiness. That is the category.
Oh, I thought you were saying I like the brownie. I'm like, well, that's not.
No,
what
I liked the way that it was chewy. I mean, I guess maybe I should minus point because I forgot to include the edge.
Yeah, the edge was rock hard.
Right.
Not to tell you how to score, but
I degraded it to a 3 because I did forget to include the rock hard edge in my score.
Taste, I gave it a 4.
I also gave it a 4. Tasted not that great.
No, tastes like shredded wheat and old chocolate. Appearance 2.
3.
3.
It still looks like a brownie.
Vibe 0.
0 vibes. Not vibing with that one.
No. Last one.
Oh, the very last brownie. I don't know if this one can overtake Salty McGee.
Did you save this one for last on purpose? It looks really good.
No, I was trying to be random without the appearance of actual randomness, because I wasn't really being random. I was picking numbers that felt random because they were far away from each other. So like I wouldn't pick 3 and 4
that's what you were doing.
because that would feel less random, even though that truly would be random, and the way that I was picking wasn't random.
Kurt, let's do the
It's a
whole
real
test.
moral dilemma.
Oh.
Is it gonna break? That bodes well. I don't think mine will break.
You have a corner?
I do have a corner, so I guess that's cheating.
Oh, the crust is good.
This one have chocolate chips too?
Does it?
Yeah. Very moist. It
What
has
would you say is
a
the after
very
flavor?
good edge texture.
The edge is better than the inside.
Yeah, I would agree. This tastes like a Ghirardelli.
Oh, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. Like, texture-wise. Doesn't squish.
Yeah. It's not uniform on the edges.
Here's the
See
thing
the
though,
little
some of
variants?
the chocolate chips are melty and some of them are hard.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, this one is hard. If this is the Ghirardelli one, I was expecting it to taste better.
Yeah.
There is a Ghirardelli one in here.
Oh. Well, I threw my heart of the cards at that one, I guess. It's pretty good.
I went to 3 stores and bought different kinds of brownies, so I'm pretty sure we got them covered.
It's pretty good. It's not. Is it an above average brownie?
Do you think that's the Ghirardelli one?
I think so.
Blind tasting it, it tastes worse than what I would normally say it would.
I'm usually not super big fan of Ghirardelli brownies.
Wait, really? I love them.
Yeah, you always make
remind me?
them and you say they're really good, and I just say, oh yeah, I guess.
That is rude.
Well, you really like them, and I don't want to discourage you.
It's a box brownie. It's not like I invented it.
Yeah, but then the next time when you're at the store and you're like, well, should I get the brownie that makes me happy, or should I get the other one? Because Curt said he didn't like that one. You'll be like, I'm going to get the other one.
Kurt, do you think I've ever been discouraged?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, we have to write it down.
Okay.
You should show off your cool cutting board knowing that.
Oh, in case anyone's been curious as to what my writing board is, it's a cutting board. It's a cutting board. Sorry, got a little brownie burp right there. It's a cutting board that my roommate got me. It's got my name on it and some culinary conversions on it. Very handy, very nice, an excellent gift.
It's really cute. If someone wants to get me a gift, I would also like one of those. Okay, I have my score down here. Wait, what number is that? 9? Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, 9. Go for it.
All right. I gave it a 7 for chewiness. Actually, that texture-wise, I think that was my favorite brownie.
I gave it a 7 for chewiness. That's your highest score for chewiness.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was making sure to.
Okay.
7 has been my highest score for chewiness. I've had. I don't think of all these brownies, I've had better chewiness brownies before.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
agree.
why my chewiness score is not maxed out. So
Taste?
I guess that what that tells me is if you want a truly optimally chewy brownie, you got to make it from scratch.
Guess so.
Taste, I gave it a 4. I didn't quite like the taste very
I
much.
thought it was a 7.
All right.
Compared to all the brownies we've eaten.
I like the way a lot of the brownies taste more than that one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I liked the chocolate balance and the type of cocoa that they used. I don't know exactly what it is that causes it to be that way.
I assume it's the Ghirardelli cocoa.
Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna feel bad if that's not the Ghirardelli.
I know. If it is the Ghirardelli one, that is the only brownie mix that comes with a separate packet of sauce that you put in. So it's the only one that's not made of just eggs, water, and vegetable oil and the mix.
Intriguing.
If that's it.
And appearance number 4. It looked like a good brownie.
I gave it a 5. Vibes?
1 vibe.
1 vibe.
All right.
Okay, let's
now we
total.
total up our scores.
So what's going to happen here, you're going to go from worst to best. You're going to tell me what number it is, and then I'm going to tell you what brand it is.
All right.
And I have a few things to reveal to you first that you don't know about.
Oh.
Number 1.
Okay.
4 of these are pre-made brownies.
Okay.
Not from a box.
Gotcha.
Okay? One of them is my own homemade brownie recipe.
Oh no.
And it's, okay. It's, so I've perfected the recipe. This was the last trial before the final one.
Okay.
And I filmed the final video last night.
Oh, how exciting.
Yes, so
Hopefully it
hopefully you're
ranks
not
well.
insulting me. So those are kind of the biggest things. Oh, also another surprise. 2 of the box mixes are gluten-free.
Oh, how exciting. I have a gluten-free roommate, so that's actually pretty
Yeah,
nice.
so I thought that would be interesting to see, like, if we really noticed or not.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, the worst one is number 2.
Number 2 is the Hostess Triple Chocolate Brownies, and they're pre-made. They come in like these little packages.
Makes sense. The next worst is number 11.
Okay, that is the Pillsbury Gluten-Free Chocolate Fudge Brownie Mix.
Oh no, not faring well for the gluten-free.
No, that one was rough too. I specifically remember hating that.
The next worst is number 4.
That would be the Little Debbie's Cosmic Brownies.
Good old cosmic brownies.
They hit the spot when you need them, but literally never, ever, any other time.
Unless you need a food that won't go bad and is so packed with preservatives, it just
But also
exists.
will mush, so you can't transport it.
I thought it mushes so you can transport it. That way,
We're gonna eat it like in a little ball shape?
well, it won't
I'm
break.
thinking of like in your hiking backpack.
Yeah, I'd take a cosmic brownie over a normal brownie because the normal brownie will be affected by the fact that it's mushed up. But the cosmic brownie is pre-mushed. So.
Okay. Okay, so now you're on.
The next one is
9.
number 8.
That would be the Betty Crocker Milk Chocolate Brownie Mix. Betty Crocker.
Wow.
A classic.
Come on, Betty.
I think that's the one Mom uses.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so Mom just stopped by Curt's house to drop off this furniture thing.
Uh-huh.
I think that's what she uses. She said, "Oh, I'm so curious to see how your guys' video goes because she always buys a particular brand every single time." Do you think that's it?
Maybe moms are better because she makes them with love.
Maybe. I would say her brownies are good,
They are.
but maybe we're just completely biased.
I guess so. All right, next one is number 3, the cracker.
Gila G's Brownie Brittle. It's pre-made.
It's brownie brittle.
It's good though.
Yeah, get the brownie, bro. The rating is low because it's
Not
fundamentally
really
not a brownie, but if you're looking for a novel snack,
That is the Pillsbury Milk Chocolate Brownie Mix.
gotcha.
I don't think I've ever had that one before.
I don't think so either.
I would also like to know, we still have a gluten-free one in here.
Oh?
Mhm.
All right,
We also still have one of the pre-made ones,
interesting.
which is shocking me.
The next 2 are tied.
Okay.
So number 1 and number 10 are tied.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because that is the pre-made one from Walmart Bakery.
Walmart Bakery
And
Premade.
the other gluten-free one, Krusteaz Gluten-Free Double Chocolate Brownie Mix.
Nice.
Which, I'm happy we got those out of the way because I was getting concerned the higher we got. I was like, why is this Walmart Bakery one still in here?
All right.
That was the one with the fudge layer on top.
Oh. Like, it wasn't the worst.
I mean, clearly it wasn't the worst, but it
I
was
think my
not
rating,
good.
I rated it higher than you did, I guess.
Okay.
The next one is number 7.
So it's Duncan Hines Milk Chocolate Brownie Mix, which I also think I haven't had before.
I don't think I've had that one either. So that's good info.
I know.
That's
Okay, now we're at 3, 2, 1,
yeah,
right?
top 3.
Top 3.
So our number 3, best brownie, is going to be brownie number 6.
That is the Great Value Fudge Brownie Mix.
Great value, fudge value.
It's
Wow.
also the cheapest brownie mix on here.
wild. All right.
Yeah. You apparently don't get what you pay for. Okay.
All right. The second best brownie. Well, your homemade one is still a contender, right?
Yes.
Well, I was just making sure. I don't know. It'd be kind of sad if it showed up as number 2.
I would cry if we were not doing well.
All right. So this is
really
the second best brownie.
Yeah, second best brownie
is number 9.
That would be the Ghirardelli triple fudge brownie mix.
Is that the one that we thought was the
Yeah,
Ghirardelli
the whole
one?
time when we thought it was Ghirardelli.
We did it.
Yeah.
Wow. Number 2. I mean, I guess it's pretty good, but
also kind of disappointing.
Yeah. Come on, Ghirardelli. You can't have a fancy name without showing some fancy yourself.
True.
Wait, so does that mean the top one, number 12, was your homemade one?
Yes, it does.
The salty one!
So on my finalized recipe, I decreased the salt by half a teaspoon, and I changed the bake time a bit.
Does that make me a culinary master for identifying that?
Yeah, I'm very proud.
Wow.
Wasn't it a good brownie?
It was a delicious brownie.
Yeah, so that's my own recipe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
But, okay, so were you surprised at all? I'm pretty impressed that these Krusteaz gluten-free double chocolate was tied for 6th place. I guess 5th or 6th place.
Better than our theoretical nostalgia brownie, so...
Yeah. And it's gluten-free.
Yeah. I definitely think that's a good gluten-free option.
I was expecting the Ghirardelli to be way high, so that didn't surprise me.
Yeah. I honestly don't know too much about brands, so can't be that surprised. I think it tracks...
Betty Crocker, though. Betty Crocker got 9th place out of 12. And I would say that's the most common one, right?
Yeah. It's nice to know that by putting in the effort to make your own homemade brownies, it ends up panning out.
Also, so like making homemade brownies, you use one bowl and one wooden spoon, just like you would for box brownies. So you're not making any extra dirty dishes. You're just using extra ingredients.
Takes a little more time to measure. Use more measuring cups.
Yes, you use more measuring cups. And in my brownies, you kind of have a 2-step chocolate process. So you're melting some semi-sweet chocolate, then you have chocolate chunks, and you have cocoa powder.
Oh.
So
that's
it's
a lot
kind
of chocolate.
of a lot going on there.
Well, that's why they're so good, though.
Yeah. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed our video. This was super fun to make. I'm hoping we make rating stuff like a continuing segment.
Yeah,
I think that would be really fun.
As long as you keep bringing me food, I'll keep eating it.
Excellent.
But I just make sure the record shows that not a single one of these brownies would I not eat because,
they're
it's
brownies. Leave us a comment, subscribe to our video. There'll be a full list posted on my website. I'll put it in a little post. That way you can check it out and review. And I'll put the pricing for each thing and then maybe our random comments and stuff too. Thanks for watching.